This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, Otago Peninsula locals say no to a proposed drop in speed limits. The money men of politics put forward their plans for Queenstown's economy. And a Dunedin school does its bit to remove plastic from the environment. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Sophie Morris. The Dunedin City Council's plans to reduce speed limits on the Otago Peninsula may be scuppered, as around 500 residents responding to an online survey had voiced their opposition to the idea.
The Dunedin City Council is planning to cut 10 kilometres from the speed limits on many peninsula roads. But Otago Community Board Chairman Paul Pope says an online survey had about 500 respondents, with many saying no to most of the proposed speed reductions.
Unilaterally they basically said no, we actually want to keep areas 70 kilometres an hour, and we also want to keep our residential areas 50, so it's in context with the rest of the city.
Over the last few years, much of the coastal road has been widened and straightened, with the creation of an additional pathway to keep pedestrians and cyclists safe.
Because of the upgrades, what we've done first of all, we've created surety and safety for pedestrians, we've created safety and surety for cyclists, we've widened the road to allow it for public transport but also for tour buses and camper vans. We've made the corners better, we've re-engineered some of that work as well, plus we've made it look better and more open to that.
Pope says with all the improvements, it's not necessary for the speed limits to drop any further than they already have.
And so people are now saying, actually we've got this safe road, why do we need to take it even further down to 60 kilometres an hour? 70 kilometres an hour is safe. Remember, that wasn't that many years ago, this was a 100 kilometre an hour road. So we've gone, we've done a lot of work on the infrastructure of that to make that safety.
While there's been frequent minor crashes on the road, there's not been a serious harm collision for 5 years. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Part of Dunedin's southern motorway is blocked as firefighters battle a blaze in Kensington. A Fire and Emergency New Zealand spokesman says the fire started in a diesel generator at a commercial property in Wilkie Road. Fire crews were called about 7:55 a.m. after nearby pine trees caught on fire. 2 crews from St Kilda and Dunedin Central are fighting the blaze, and a 3rd crew from Lookout Point has been called. One lane of the southern motorway was blocked while crews fought the fire. Witnesses say there was an impressive plume of smoke rising from the fire. Jacinda versus Judith wasn't the only political debate last night. COVID-19 border closures were hot topics at the Great Debate in Queenstown, with politicians from the 5 main parties laying out their plans for financial recovery.
Deal with the debt. I've got more young people coming to my meeting, some of them toddlers, and I think they're worried about the debt.
The financial spokesmen of the 5 main political parties clashed at the ASB Great Debate in the Queenstown Memorial Hall last night. The tourist resort is facing an uncertain future due to COVID-19, and the politicians explained how their parties could repair the economy.
Things were going really well here in Queenstown, and then COVID hit. So the commitment now is to say to you that our focus will be on the economy, and particularly on a commitment around no new taxes.
Treasury is predicting 100,000 job losses in the next 2 years, and we're seeing never-ending deficits as far as the eye can see, and no path back to prudent levels of debt. We have every confidence that New Zealand can get back on track. There's no doubt that we are a great country. The world wants what we want to deliver. It's a beautiful place. We can get back on track. The only question is how quickly, and our strong belief is with National's policy we'll get back on track faster.
And exactly how government cash injections into the economy are being spent was an issue.
We have to accept COVID will be in our lives for some time to come, and our strong health response has to continue throughout this period of time. We've done well, we will have to keep fighting the virus. But our focus tonight does need to be on our recovery and our rebuild.
Because right now we are bringing forward billions of dollars and injecting it into rebuilding our economy. We have to put that money to work on the long-term challenges that we face, because if we don't, then our children will end up paying twice. Once to pay back the debt from the pandemic crisis, and again to deal with those long-term challenges that they inherit from us.
And there is the hope New Zealand will come out of the crisis as a more united country.
How we come out of this crisis as a more united country, get our lifestyle back, rebuilding our economy and our productivity. That's what we want, and that is what the ACT Party is campaigning on. Thank you very much.
About 400 people attended the debate, the first to be held in Level 1 conditions. In Queenstown, the South today.
Dunedin police are concerned burglars are targeting tools following an arrest yesterday, and say people should ask for identification from people carrying out work in their home. Acting Senior Sergeant Anthony Bond says they were alerted to a burglary where tools had been stolen at a South Dunedin property at 10:45 a.m. A 24-year-old man was arrested and bailed. He will appear in the Dunedin District Court next Tuesday. Police say there had been recent burglaries in the Mornington and Wakaree areas where tools had been stolen, and there had also been thefts from cars in Mosgiel, Murray Hill and St Clair. Broad Bay School is receiving large packages full of bread bag tags from across Otago and Southland. The plastic tags are being recycled, with all profits going to charity.
Sorting out hundreds, no thousands, of bread tags by colour. Broad Bay School has already collected more than 10,000 of these little bits of plastic after learning they can be recycled in Christchurch into seedling trays and even keyring tags.
We're always looking for things to do at our school to help with the environment, and thought what a wonderful initiative. Those little pieces of plastic that end up going into landfill.
Half the profits from the reconstituted plastic items goes to local charities, and the other half goes towards buying wheelchairs for the disabled in South Africa. Broad Bay School Principal Greg McLeod says the wider community has got behind the project.
It's just been absolutely amazing. I've got people from down south and up north and from this club and that club, and I have people coming in almost every day to the school, dropping in their little collection.
McLeod says his school is an enviro school, with the pupils wanting to do something that will make a difference in the world.
You know, we've got catering suppliers who are taking the time out of their day to keep the tags and get them recycled. So we're just really proud to be doing our little bit for the environment.
The school principal says the daily arrival of bread tags is more welcome than bills. In Dunedin, the South today.
Still to come on the South today, model train enthusiasts show their wares in Ashburton, and school pupils come together in Wanaka to solve some of the world's problems.
Hi, Alec Campbell Menswear. We're back in George Street on the corner of Hanover Street. Come and check out our big store. It's a big space full of bargains. Now look at these shirts. There's shirts for everybody here. Look at these MERINO pullovers, stacks of moleskins, literally tons of trousers. And check out these big racks of sports jackets. Beautiful.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So come and check out Alec Campbell Menswear. We're back on George Street in the old ANZ building.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
You've seen us in the street, now find us online. Check out shopon.org.nz. We have all sorts of treasures, from retro and vintage clothing to antiques, homewares and accessories. New items added every week. We're open 24/7.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Welcome back. Destination toilets are a step closer for Balclutha after the Clutha District Council recently narrowed down design options. Rough and Milne Architects Director Brooke Mitchell presented draft concept plans for the Clyde Street site during a council meeting in Balclutha to a mixed reception from councillors. The plans offer two alternatives, each integrating a competing toilet block design from Fahey Designs and Calder Stewart. Brooke Mitchell says his firm's designs will blend with the existing streetscape theme, bringing openness and character to the heart of Balclutha. Model railway enthusiasts missed out on the annual Ashburton Model Train Show this year. So instead, locals organised a swap meet for people to buy and sell all sorts of items relating to model railways.
The annual Ashburton Model Train Show, which was scheduled for July, had to be cancelled this year due to COVID-19 restrictions. So instead the club organised a swap meet, with also a couple of tracks in action, but mostly aimed at helping enthusiasts sell or swap their models.
We got our heads together and decided we'd put on the swap meet because we had to cancel the normal model train show earlier this year. So we thought we'd do this instead.
It's the first time a swap meet has been held in Ashburton, with everything from engines, carriages, tracks and scenery up for grabs.
Oh, there's things that start at $1 and then there's things up into the hundreds of dollars. When you've got bigger scale of trains or the Garden Railway type stuff, it's hundreds of dollars for a set.
People came from all over the lower South Island for this one-day only opportunity to buy and sell model railway items.
Very, very positive response. We're actually overwhelmed with the number of people that have wanted sales tables to sell their model train bits and pieces.
The swap meet was held at the Plains and Historical Museum on Sunday. In Ashburton, the South Today.
An international resolution regarding cannabis was passed in Wanaka this week. The delegates were made up of high school pupils closely modelling their debates on the United Nations procedure.
50 students from 5 Otago high schools took part in the Model United Nations one-day event in Wanaka recently. United Nations Youth Otago President Leisha de Brone says every student was given a country to represent and through debating had to try and make the Model UN's resolution suit their country.
So the purpose of this event is essentially to equip these delegates with essential skills that they can become global citizens, and things like diplomacy, negotiation, how to write resolutions, how to represent a country's own viewpoints and separate their own.
Originally they considered passing a resolution on climate change, but they found another topic closer to home.
So we were trying to find something that's of relevance to students today, and of course with the upcoming referendum on decriminalisation of drugs, we decided that this topic, well actually I didn't decide, the students decided that this topic would be more relevant for them because they're talking about it at home and at school as well.
Mount Aspiring College student Lucia Michelle was able to represent both New Zealand and Mexico in the General Assembly debate.
So it's very nice to be able to share my ideas in front of this whole crowd so then they know what I'm thinking and how I would solve this problem.
It's hoped the future version of the Wanaka Youth United Nations will see delegates from Central Otago attend the national event in Wellington. In Wanaka, the South Today.
After the break on the South Today, we take a look around a maritime museum in Central Otago and we check out tomorrow's weather.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Step into Shop on Carol and discover a shop full of treasures. We have a fantastic range of vintage and retro clothes, upmarket clothing labels, collectible items, beautiful jewellery, quality linen and the best range of vintage haberdashery.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, Alex Campbell Menswear. We're back in George Street on the corner of Hanover Street. Come and check out our big store. It's a big space full of bargains. Now look at these shirts. There's shirts for everybody here. Look at these merino pullovers, stacks of moleskins, literally tons of trousers. Check out these big racks of sports jackets. Beautiful.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So come and check out Alex Campbell Menswear. We're back on George Street in the old ANZ building.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Inside are all sorts of innovations from all over China.
Welcome back. The Wakatipu Marine Preservation Society has been proudly displaying relics from the area's nautical past, including many treasures from years gone by.
This room in the Boatshed Cafe in Frankton has been set up with displays of many of the early boats that serviced Lake Wakatipu. It's the work of the Wakatipu Community Maritime Preservation Society, which restored the cafe building about 8 years ago, as well as the adjacent slipway, both of which had fallen into disrepair.
Today what we're opening is the Mountaineer Room, and that's in a nod to the boat, the Mountaineer boat which was on the lake, which is in one of the models that kindly be lent to us by Real Journeys.
The Society is looking for any other objects from the steamship era to potentially go on display as well. In Queenstown, the South today.
Now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Otago Peninsula locals said no to a proposed drop in speed limits. The money men of politics put forward their plans for Queenstown's economy. And a Dunedin school is helping to remove plastic from the environment, collecting bread bag tags and raising money for charity. And time now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry.
Hi Sophie.
Good evening.
A man arguing his child unfairly missed out on entry to medical school is seeking a cash settlement from the University of Otago. So we'll have further details of that case tomorrow. The removal of 300 Dunedin car parks will, until the end of the year, was not thought through and will further discourage people from visiting the city centre, according to a Dunedin City Councillor. So concerns in that area clearly.
Right.
After 21 years calling Invercargill home, Southland's town crier, Lindley McKero, is moving north to pursue the next chapter of her life. So we have the story on that. We also have an interesting story in Lawrence, they have a new tourist attraction, and that'll make its debut at the town's Lantern Festival next week. Now the attraction is an old fire engine, and a group of people from Lawrence brought it down from the North Island, so we follow that journey, quite an interesting one. Another discovery, a box of what looked like white powder at Dunedin Art School has left artist Tim Barlow, has lured Tim Barlow back to his old art school for a residency. He talks to Rebecca Fox, our arts reporter, about rediscovering old construction methods.
Great.
There you go.
Well, thank you, Barry. All of that and more in tomorrow's ODT. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, magnolia in bloom. Looking at the situation, westerly airflow again tomorrow as low pressure moves on to southern New Zealand from the South Tasman Sea. Expect some more unsettled days on Friday and Saturday ahead of much cooler, windier weather on Sunday. Starting at the northwest of the South Island, thunderstorms are on the way with 15 degrees in Greymouth and 14 in Westport. The northeast, sunshine for the region with 21 degrees in Blenheim and 19 in Nelson. In Canterbury, mostly sunny with 17 degrees in Kaikoura and 19 in Christchurch and Ashburton. To the southern towns, fresh northwesterlies and rain later in the day with 17 degrees in the Catlins and 16 degrees in Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore. In central, fresh northwesterlies and showers later in the day with 16 degrees in Queenstown, 18 in Wanaka, 19 in Alexandra and 15 in Tiana. To the northern towns, along the coast, moderate northwesterlies and high cloud with 23 degrees in Timaru and 20 in Oamaru. Inland, fresh northwesterlies and cloud increasing with 18 degrees in Twizel and Omarama. In Dunedin, cloudy tonight with northerlies and an overnight low of 6. Thick high cloud tomorrow with a few spots of rain at times, light winds tending northerly in the morning, cooler southwest in the afternoon, a high of 18 and a low of 9. fine at first on Friday with westerly winds, but colder southwesterlies freshening during the afternoon with a period of thundery showers, a high of 15 and a low of 5. And in Invercargill, showers clearing tonight with westerlies decreasing and an overnight low of 9. Cloud increasing and rain developing during the afternoon tomorrow with northwesterlies becoming fresh and gusty, a high of 15 and low of 10. Rain easing to showers on Friday with fresh, colder southwesterlies, a high of 13 and a low of 5. That's all for our news this Wednesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz or follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.